Was good, y'all? Red Sosa back in the building, man. And today I got the top 3 best rarest centers in NBA 2K21 on current gen. The first one that I'm going to be bringing y'all is going to be the back to basket big. The video is going to be sped up, so keep up, rewind, and pause at your own need, y'all. So first, the thing that you want to go ahead and do to make this build is put it under the power forward position. From here, we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at the pie charts. I know y'all missed the current gen video, so I'm going to go ahead and start bringing these bangers back. Go ahead and follow along as I am showing y'all when I pick these pie charts. It really comes down to preference, but honestly, when it comes to the main category of the pie chart, you want to go ahead and follow along. The physical profile sometimes will be based on your own opinion. If you want to change it up, I'm going to go ahead and leave it up to y'all. But man, if y'all are new and this is your very first time coming through, I just want to say thank y'all so much, and shout out to the Rich Gang for always showing y'all love and support, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all already know what y'all need to do. Just be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, man. So let's go ahead and follow along right here. When it comes to these stats, you want to go ahead and put these builds as I am showing y'all. If you change any of these stats, you're honestly risking changing the build name. And don't get me wrong, you can definitely experiment with it, but when it comes to these rare builds, a lot of them are picky, so you have to keep certain attributes as they are to maintain that build name. So when it comes to this build, a key category is going to be the finishing, and a good thing about it is that you're also going to be able to shoot with this build. I made this build to where you're going to be able to hit those 3-pointers, because we all know every single build that you're going to be using as a big man, you definitely want to be versatile in all areas of the floor. The thing about this build is that you're really going to have to come down to defensive IQ, but we get a huge amount of badges, which is going to be really good, 70 plus. Now when it comes to the height, weight, and wingspan, all of these are really going to be based on your own preference, but I went ahead and followed with mine, so you can copy me with what I'm doing, or you can go with your own preference. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like this. Let's go ahead and check out some of the takeovers that we get when you max out this wingspan. You can lower it if you want to, but again, I feel like for defensive purposes, it's always going to be best. Now, as y'all can see, we do get the post scoring as well as the sharpshooting takeover, and in my opinion, it really just comes down to which wingspan and what area and what length you like it best at. Now right here, as you can see, it created the interior finisher. All you gotta do is change it a little bit, go ahead and put it to an 86.0, and you're gonna be in business. Now let's go ahead and get on to the next build. Now next, I got another very special center build. We have the point center, y'all. I'm telling you, in opinion, I feel like this is going to be my favorite build that I have found in all of current gen, just because of the name. Point center sounds really cool. Now with these stats as well as everything that goes into this build, I feel like you guys are definitely going to like it. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of the things that we have to take into consideration. So I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all right now that with this build, you're going to be getting 30 playmaking badges on a center build, and also you're going to be able to get that rim protector takeover, so the defensive side is going to be nice. Now let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. First, go ahead and put it under the center position. When it comes to the pie chart, what you want to go ahead and do is, of course, if you thought it, go ahead and put the pure playmaking pie chart. This is the one that you definitely want to go ahead and pick. This is going to be the best one to make this build out of. Now when it comes to the physical profile, like I have said, if you want to, go ahead and pick one based off your own preference. I'm going to go ahead and pick the one right here with the 63 speed and a 60 vertical. Now, when it comes to the setup of these stats, you have to go ahead and do every single category as I am doing. If you change any single stat, you are going to risk changing the build name, and that includes for the finishing side right here. Now, when it comes to the shooting, we are definitely going to be able to hit some shots with this build as well. So go ahead and put your mid-range shot all the way up to a 70. Three-pointer is going to be a 64, and our free throw is going to be a 77. Post fade is going to be a 70, and that's going to give us 12 shooting badges. So that is going to be really clutch in my opinion. Now, with the pass accuracy, go ahead and put this to a 74. Ball handle is going to be maxed out as well as our post moves, and that's going to give us the 30 badges that we wanted. Now when it comes to the defensive side, go ahead and follow along right here. that is going to give us 10 badges on the defense. So if you use your badges wisely, you are definitely going to be in good hands with this build. If you want to change anything about this build, feel free to. But again, in my opinion, I feel like this is going to be one of the safer versions to go with. You can even get a couple extra of the defensive badges if you take off some badges of the other categories. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like this. Now, when it comes to the height, weight, and the wingspan, I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, go based on your preference. Now, you can follow exactly as I am doing, but if you see any little thing that you want to change about the build, experiment with it and see what you find, and I'm telling you, you're going to be satisfied with what you get rather than doing something that you wouldn't want to. Now, with the last thing right here, the wingspan, we're going to go ahead and max it out, and as y'all can see with the takeovers that we're going to be getting for this build is going to be the playmaking, post scoring, we also get the glass cleaning, and then we get the rim protecting, y'all. But if you want to go ahead and change the wingspan, you can definitely do so to try to higher your shooting. But again, in my opinion, I feel like it's going to be really good just as is. Go ahead and pick the takeover based off your own preference. I feel like the defensive one or the glass cleaning is going to be clutch. And as y'all can see, we have made the point center, y'all. So that means we have one more build left over. I saved one of the best builds for last. I am gonna go ahead and drop another top 3, top 5, top 10 videos just like this. So go ahead and drop a like right now if you want that. The next build we have coming up is going to be the Playmaking 5, y'all. Now this build, I really like it. The name fits the point center as well, and then when you get the back to basket big, all of these builds are going to be super rare. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at some of the things that we have to consider when it comes to making this build. So with this Playmaking 5, we are going to be able to get some really nice defensive stats as well as the badges. The post scoring on this build is going to be really nice. And then to throw it all together, we also are going to be able to get that glass cleaning takeover, post scoring, and of course, the playmaking, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into the making of this build first. We're going to be putting it under the center again, of course. Now, when it comes to the pie chart, go ahead and follow along as well. But when it comes to the physical profile, if you want to experiment and go ahead and pick a different one, feel free to. In my opinion, I feel like the one that I'm going to be picking is going to be best because of the overall balance that it comes with. I love the fact that if you pick the fastest one, you only get a 3-speed difference. But if you pick a more balanced one, then you're going to get one with only a -3 speed compared to what the fastest is. But honestly, go ahead and with what you feel more comfortable with. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and start with the stats. So right here, you can only put your driving dunk up to a 44. But when it comes to the shooting side, we're going to be able to max out pretty much everything except our post fade to a 68. And then from there, that's going to give us 12 shooting badges. Now with the playmaking, we're going to be able to max out everything except on the post moves, unless you want to change some of these categories up. I'm going to go ahead and put that to a 91, and that's going to give us 30 playmaking. Now when it comes to the defense, max out your interior, lateral quickness, steal, block, and then both of our rebounds. And lastly, we're going to be touching the perimeter. But if you want to, you could go ahead and max out the post moves right here as I am showing y'all. As long as you like the setup that you're going with, you're going to be fine. Now when it comes to the height, weight, and wingspan, go ahead and follow along as well. I feel like for this specific build, in my opinion, it's going to be best as I am showing y'all. The weight and the wingspan are going to be two crucial things in this build, so I'm going to go with the lowest weight. And then when it comes to the wingspan, you could raise it up if you want to, or you could go a little bit lower to try to get better stats in other areas. As y'all can see with the takeovers that we get right there, we get some nice ones, especially with that rim protector. But if you change it, you do not get it. So again, it really comes down to what you want to do. But in my opinion, I feel like both versions of this build are definitely going to be nice. Now, if you decide to go with that rim protector takeover, you're honestly making the better decision overall when it comes to helping out on the defense. Also, you could even go with the glass cleaning. It really comes down to your preference, but with mine, you already know that I like the rim protector takeover. As y'all can see, we have made the Playmaking 5, and that is the last build of the 3 for the top 3 rarest centers in NBA 2K on current gen, y'all. Thank y'all so much, man. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and run up those likes, and I got another banging dropping for y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all so much for your support. I truly appreciate y'all. But man, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.